My name is Caminsky. I'm the CEO for InPost. We have the largest automated network of parcel lockers in the country. We've got over 1,100 locations. You go onto a website, you order a product, and when you look at where you'd like it to be delivered, you can choose home or a store. A lot of retailers are now putting in parcel lockers.
Ian, thanks so much for joining us today.
No problem, my pleasure.
Thanks so much for your time. So, first things first, how does InPost work? How does the system, how does it work?
So I'll start by asking a question. Have you ever ordered something online and not been entirely satisfied with the delivery experience that you had?
Absolutely, of course.
That's where InPost fits in. So the thing about our parcel lockers is they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They are fully automated, so the experience is 100% consistent. You typically go up to one of the lockers with the email or text message that we sent you. You flash your phone at the locker, it scans the QR code, the door opens, you either return a product or collect a product, and you close the door and you leave. And typically that interaction takes about 7 seconds, and that's far better, far more consistent than any other click and collect service that's available in the UK.
Incredible. The whole landscape of retail is changing with e-commerce, as you said. People are ordering things online and being unhappy, and InPost is so interesting because it's disrupting this whole process. It's such an offline way. What developments within the retail industry do you think could make this even more convenient, even easier?
Well, the evolution of click and collect is where we are right now. So online is growing at tremendous rates. Everybody knows that. And the reason why it's growing is because online offers the ability for people to shop the way they want to shop, where they want to shop, and have it delivered when they want it to be delivered. What's evolved from that is click and collect. So it's not always convenient to be at home. So you buy something online and you go get it in a convenient location. The initial part of that was going to stores. Now that interaction has changed because stores are not always convenient as well. Most retailers only have a certain number of stores across the country, plus they close at a certain point. So the evolution of that is how do you make it even more convenient? Well, you bring in these parcel lockers that are spread across the country, hopefully close to either your home, your work, or some place that you frequent. So we're at grocery stores, we're in car parks, we're at universities, we're at petrol stations, places you typically go either on the way to work or on the way home, or at some point in your life you're passing by one of our lockers.
The phrase "how you want, when you want," these are all really relating to freedom and putting power in people's hands.
Yeah.
Would you say that every industry, not just retail or e-commerce or postal industry, is being changed in this way to become more democratic?
Absolutely, and what we often refer to it as democratizing products, and that means we take it to everyone, take it to the people, and the people get to understand and implement it in the way they want it. So what that means from an e-commerce and what that means to us is consumers have said this isn't a great experience. So either waiting at home for your product and missing it, going to a service center, going to a post office, going to a store that sometimes isn't open or during Christmas is very, very busy, isn't the ideal experience. So how do we change that? Consumers are looking for the way to own that delivery experience, to control that. And the way we allow them to do that is by having the parcel wait for them instead of them waiting for the parcel. And what that does is it gives you control of the whole experience. And that's really what people want. That's that empowering that you're talking about. And certainly in the online generation, that's what they're looking for in a delivery experience, and that's what they're looking for on websites when they go to investigate a retailer to buy from. Now, most shoppers are going to them to see, how do you treat me as a retailer? What are your delivery options? What are your return options? Because the fact of the matter is, if I buy 3 pairs of shoes from you in a transaction, the likelihood is you're not going to keep 3 pairs. You're going to try them on in the new changing room, which is your living room. You're going to find the one that fits you best, and you're going to return the other 2. As a retailer, I have to make that as easy as possible for you. So not only is it easy for you to collect that, but there's a built-in return into that transaction, so I have to make that incredibly easy for you to return that product. What that means is I'm going to go buy from you again.
I know that you're here with a couple of other members of the InPost team.
Yep.
What are your experiences of being in a place like Interchange and the co-working movement?
Yeah. So I've been in a couple of co-working environments. What they allow small businesses and sometimes bigger businesses to do is utilize to the best of their abilities lots of resources that they may not be able, and services that they may not have been able to afford if they weren't in a co-working environment. So I used to work at Google. In the first couple of years that I was there, we were in a co-working environment, and so I'm used to that kind of thing. What Interchange does really well is it builds that community a little bit different than a lot of places I've been in the past, which are much more, here's an office, here's some expensive services that you can buy, lots of add-ins, but you're kind of on your own. Whereas Interchange is much more of a community. The people who work here are kind of working with us. There's lots of events in the evenings, during the day. They have speakers coming in. They encourage the people who work here to interact together and try to find ways to work together. So it allows us to optimize what we can do with a workspace.
Cool. You must be working here, there, and everywhere on the move. Do you have any personal tips or tricks for staying organized when you're on the move or dealing with work?
Absolutely. So I do travel a fair bit, and it's really important to be organized. It's really important to have all the things that you need, whether you always use those things, so there's stuff that you use every hour, or things that you only need on a contingency basis. And I think that's the difference between looking and being organized and being successful in meetings and pitches. And you encounter all kinds of crazy things when you're visiting a client in a different country, and you have to be prepared for those things. And having the tools of your trade and the tools that satisfy different contingencies with you in an organized way is really, really important.
Brilliant. Ian, thanks so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Cheers.
Nice meeting you.